Hello, I'm Nicole, the artist behind Art by Nicole, and today we are talking about Part 1, Section 3 of the Mastery Program. So let's go. So Section 3 is called Proportion and Measuring, and it really hones in on drawing what your eye sees. So let's take a look at my drawings. Okay. So there is a video up on my channel where you can watch the full process of me drawing this lion. And I really had a lot of fun with it. I love to draw. I kind of knew that about myself, but I have really been drawing a lot lately. And like with anything, the more you do it, the better you get. And I think that my drawing has really gotten better. Even my dad made a comment. He's like, I don't know what they're teaching you or how they're teaching you to draw, but you're doing really great. So that was really sweet. Yeah, he's like, you've always been good at drawing. He's like, but wow. So, okay, so I chose this particular image because they always give you multiple images for source references. I chose this particular one because I thought it would be challenging. And I believe I was right. I did find this a challenge, but in a fun way, not like, oh, it's a chore. I have to draw this lion. So now the feedback I got is I could have pushed my darks more, especially in the mane. And I totally agree with that. I did not go back and do that. But I see what they were saying. Part of it is this particular sketchbook that I bought just for the purpose of doing these Milan Art Mastery Program drawings in, so that I could keep them all contained. It's decent paper, but it doesn't really hold the graphite. So you can kind of see here. And it could be the pencil too, but it's like, it like skips on the paper. It doesn't really hold the graphite down. So, yeah, this is the lion. And then we have the iguana. Now, guys, I am super pleased with how this came out. They say spend maybe 2 hours on an assignment, but Ellie also said if you have the time, spend as much time as you want on it. Now, in the process of this drawing, we lost one of our fur babies. He got really sick. We had to put him down. So to take my mind off it, to kind of distract myself, I really dove into this drawing. This took 4, maybe 5 drawing sessions, about 2 hours each session. So I really put in a lot of time with this. But I mean, you can't argue with these results. Yeah, this drawing I think came out so good. It got a fairly warm reception on my social medias, but when I posted it in the Milan Art app, like I think there were like 80 some people that liked, like it was a lot of people that were just like, wow. So that felt really good. So yeah. And I chose this particular reference again because I felt it was the most challenging. And I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. There were animals that had a lot of fur, and that could be challenging too. But for me, it was trying to figure out, how do I make that scale texture? How do I make it look, how do I make it look like an iguana? And I think I was really successful. Now, as with anything, there's always room for improvement, especially down here in these scales. They're just kind of cross hatches. I could have, if I wanted to spend even more time on it, I could have drawn them individually. And but yeah. And again, you can kind of see in this area here where couldn't really get the graphite into the fiber of the paper, but it is what it is. So, okay. Now let's take a look at the painting for this section. Okay, and here we have my final optical color mixing assignment. I've just been referring to it in my house as the octopus for obvious reasons. There was a lot of layers. There was a lot of back and forth as far as darks and lights. I had thought I was finished. I submitted my work to the coaches, and even though I'm not particularly thrilled about the way this came out, again, I got some really positive feedback. They complimented my colors, but they did note a few things, and I just fixed them. So adding blue, and I totally meant to do this. It just, I don't know. When you're sitting there working on a painting for hours, you intend to do things, but then you miss doing the things. It's always good to step away for a while and then come back, or have coaches that will give you feedback. But anyway, what I missed was adding some shading to the underside of the head. And that totally makes sense. It gives it more form. So I just quickly did that. And then I added some more shading in here. And they also suggested a warm highlight on the eye. I don't know. I think it just covers up the eye, but this octopus is done. I think it looks messy. So the whole point of this style of painting is that you don't mix your colors on the palette. You let the viewer's eye mix them optically. So you just place colors next to each other and the viewer's eye mixes it. Super cool concept. Kind of reminds me, I don't know how old you are, but there was this craze when I was like a preteen. The illusion paintings, I believe they were computer generated. But I had a book where, the more you stare at a picture, the form comes through. This kind of reminds me of that. I think if okay, octopi are masters of camouflage, so that's what I'm going with. But I feel like if I didn't have the suckers painted the way I painted them, it'd be kind of hard to tell that it was an octopus. Now, a lot of that is because I could not get the background, the coral or whatever he's chilling on, to look dark enough. Everything is just kind of a mid-tone. But once I got into the groove of it, it was a fun assignment. I started enjoying the process. But I don't think it's my favorite process. I need to be able to blend and color mix. Oh my word, color mix. Okay, so that is it for section 3. That is my Milan Art Institute Mastery Program update. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to follow along on my artistic journey, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!